Honestly, Granola is alpha as hell in this chapter. My love for this character went from about a 2 or a 3 to like about a 6. I mean, he's not a fan favorite character after this chapter, but he definitely gained quite a few bonus points. So Vegeta gives him the Senzu Bean, he takes it, he teleports in front of Oil and Maki who are picking on Grandpa, and he just smacks them into some rocks. He's come to his senses now, he's even re-equipping Oatmeal, which does help him out slightly in this chapter. Oatmeal is basically like a Jarvis, it's like an AI system that helps him mid-battle, and we see him later on actually counter this crazy AoE kunai attack from Gas thanks to Oatmeal's help. So while it doesn't play a very big part in his like total overall power, it's definitely like something extra. Granola goes full power, he eats the Senzu Bean, he gains all his energy back, he gets ready to fight Gas. This is the fight that he really wants, and he unlocks his second Sharingan again. I guess after he got beat up and everything, it disappeared. I don't know if like using the eye gives him like some sort of stamina drain, like they never said anything like that. I mean, it is his like Keke Genkai, his bloodline limit. I don't know why he even would have turned it off, but I guess you could interpret that as it requires stamina to use it. But anyways, he just turns it back on, and now he's gonna battle Gas in a title to see who is actually the strongest in the universe. But first, a message from our sponsor. When was the last time that you were hailed as a champion? Introducing our sponsor for today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. Now, with over 600 incredibly badass champions to choose from. Join the campaign, build your team, and take on powerful bosses. Now, introducing the new ultimate boss, Hydra. Hydra has 6 different heads, each with their own terrifying abilities, and if you're able to defeat it, you can unlock a new legendary champion. Raid just introduced a new super limited edition champion to the game, esports legend and Navi superstar Simple. Simple's limited edition champion is available for free for new and old players in Raid. All you have to do is log in for 7 days between now and January 28th and he's yours. On top of that, it's the holidays and Raid has a full schedule of festival activities and special events with new fusion events to help you add some of Raid's incredible festive champions to your collection. And if you want an even bigger start, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan the QR code right here, and new players will get the epic hero Tayrel, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in game. You'll find rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. And we just gotta make a note about Vegeta's character development here in this chapter, and like what's really been going on with Vegeta in this arc. Like he is playing the mentor role to Granola like down to a T, and if anything, if Granola does survive this arc, which I don't think he will, but if he does, I could see Vegeta like training him in the future. He's like, here's your Senzu Bean, boy. Go get it. Gas starts off the battle by creating these 2 shields on his arms. As we know, he can create weapons out of thin air, and we find out in this chapter that this is a technique that he's honed over his entire life. This has nothing to do with the power that the dragon granted him. And I also just want to make a note that I love the stances out of Granola in this chapter. Like this one in particular, it's unique. I like how he like kind of just always has his hand in the form of like a gun, and he kind of moves his body to like cock it, lock it, like prepare it, shoot it in certain ways like that. I like it because it's giving the character some sort of like sauce. It's something like unique about him. Yes, he did wish to become the strongest and it's cheesy, but at least like this stances and kind of like his style of combat gives him a little bit of extra flair over traditional Dragon Ball villains and characters. Like for example, this part where Gas charges in at him and he floats underneath him and like cocks back the handgun and just starts shooting like an array of blasts at Gas. Like I thought that was really cool. It's nice to get something like a little unique in Dragon Ball, especially considering this whole arc is just like, oh, we're just gonna wish to be the strongest. Now obviously they both still have their own skill sets, but yeah, these guys just wish to be the strongest, and it's like taking them practice. Like this is like the battle experience is like trying to learn all the stuff that they should have learned on the way to the top. They just skipped over it. They just Super Mario, you know, jumped over the map. And I guess we learned from this chapter that Gas is actually, he is technically stronger than Granola, but Granola has 2 things on Gas. 1, he's got the double Sharingan, and 2, he has the battle experience through fighting Goku and Vegeta that Gas does not. That battle experience is what's going to draw out the real, raw, strongest in the world power that these characters don't have access to off the bat. And in the beginning, Granola's actually doing very well against Gas, but that's because Gas is not using the power that was granted to him by the dragon. He wants to win with his weapons. He wanted to prove to himself that he could do this without the wish, but he gets pushed to the point where he eventually has to use it. But there's one really cool scene here where Oatmeal helps out. Gas throws this giant wrecking ball on top of Granola and explodes, and then he throws like a million kunai at Granola, and then we see Granola like catches them in all of his fingers. And so this part was very, very alpha. When I saw this, I was like, all right, Granola, like you're starting to earn some points, like right here, like that was cool. Vegeta even acknowledges that he's even with Gas, or maybe even doing better at this point. Gas creates this like javelin and spear, so there's a lot of inspiration from various like historical armies and a lot of inspiration from Naruto. I mean, a lot. So I don't know what's going on here, but we got kunai, we got Sasuke's like giant shuriken in here, we got the Sharingan in here, Goku used Susanoo in the last arc. So I don't know, I guess Toyotaru must be reading or watching a lot of Naruto for inspiration or something, man, because they're really pulling like so many different techniques out of Naruto and putting them in Dragon Ball here. Vegeta acknowledges that Gas only achieved the title of strongest in the universe a little while ago, and so he hasn't unlocked his full power yet, just like Granola. So I think that Gas is probably going to end up winning this fight, even though it looks like Granola is slightly superior or evenly matched by the end of the chapter, but we'll get into that in just a minute. Here we got Gas using Sasuke's giant vanishing shuriken technique, but Granola catches it and then just does this brutal kick to Gas right in the stomach. And you can like feel the pain in that picture. I really like the art in this chapter. I think Toyotaru did a phenomenal job, especially with Granola. There's just so many good shots of Granola in here. And like when he takes off his jacket or whatever that article of clothing is, I mean, his aesthetics just went up like tenfold. Like I think, can we all just agree that this shot of Granola, it just looks awesome, and that this outfit is just all around better? So as Granola pushes Gas into a corner, he finally unleashes his strongest in the universe power that was given to him by the dragon. And the first thing he does is he creates some sort of barrier. Maybe this is his regular barrier, that like, because we've seen him create barriers before, but Granola's punch does nothing. So Granola's punch lands on him, it looks like. Or potentially Granola, I'm not sure if this is his aura here, or if that like energy is paralyzing Granola. That also may be a possibility. I mean, these guys basically know every technique in the entire universe based on, that's what the dragon like gave them. So it could just be paralyzing. We've seen a lot of paralyzing stuff in Dragon Ball. Gas just blasts like Final Flash blasts Gas. Oh my god, these terms, dude. Blast Gas, blasting ass. Gas Final Flash blasts ass. I mean, Gas Final Flash blasts Granola, and then he's like upset at himself because like he was forced to use the power. He considers it a failure on his own part, but yeah, he's gonna need that. But I'm really surprised at like how well he did without using the techniques of the strongest in the universe. But it's like, dude, your power level must have gone up like times a billion, right? Like in order to compete at this level. So like, I mean, it's not, I mean, bro, you're already in the battle. You've been using the power the whole time. It's just like you used one of the techniques. And now we can start to see the superiority of Gas over Granola come out in this chapter, as he just instantaneous teleports, I guess. He uses instantaneous movement and he just appears right in front of Granola, like terrifying him. And he says, any abilities you have gained are now mine as well. Meaning that he can use instantaneous movement and also destruction. He can use Hakai power, which again, I don't really get too much, but if Vegeta's immortal and he can learn it, then I guess anybody else could. But it doesn't seem like something like you could learn unless you had training from Beerus. And like, I think that's one of the biggest like flaws to this whole arc, is like giving these characters like god powers, like these regular humans that wish to be the strongest, and now they have god powers like Hakai. I think it's all whack. But even after taking the Hakai right to the chest, which should erase you, Granola's okay, and it just destroyed his jacket. Alrighty, so he says, I still got a lot of fight in me, and he's gonna go back into battle. And now they're gonna have this crazy teleporting all over the place battle where they're both utilizing instantaneous movement and using it like without any effort whatsoever. Don't gotta put their fingers to their head or anything like that. Teleporting around, kicking each other. It looks like Granola definitely has the advantage though, and that's because Vegeta says that Gas is very sloppy with this technique. I mean, obviously these techniques, maybe like you're granted the power to use it, but you have to still train with it quite a bit to be able to use it effectively, especially in battle. And I kind of feel for Goku here, and this is kind of what I was talking about, like with the whole technique things, Hakai and instantaneous movement. I mean, Goku is just like, man, it was so hard for me to learn that, and these guys are just using it like it's nothing, like this is super cheesy. But Granola is able to, I don't know if it's because of his eye, I'm guessing it's his eye, could also be his battle experience. He's now able to start predicting where Gas is going to teleport to, and so he can throw out a kick right as he's about to teleport behind him. So that's what he does, and he almost kicks Gas in the face really bad, but he just grazes his cheek. And now Granola starts to win again because he has the battle experience and he has the eye. So I think even though he may technically be slightly weaker, he has his battle experience out, he's got the eyes, he's got the advantage slightly for now. It seems like they're still kind of 50-50. But once Gas, I mean, it's very obvious that we're just gonna have a rematch of Vegeta versus Granola, in the sense that, you know, maybe Granola will be winning in the beginning, and then Gas is gonna unlock his battle experience that's required to utilize the full power of the strongest in the universe, and he's probably gonna beat Granola. What happens then? Is it Gogeta? Does Ultra Instinct Goku or Ultra Ego Vegeta come back? Does Frieza arrive and make a new wish to be the strongest, and now everybody's screwed? That's a possibility as well. But overall, yeah, I'm pretty heavy combat chapter. Definitely gained a lot of respect for Granola here. And it's kind of crazy to just see Goku and Vegeta be sideline characters. Like, we've never really seen that in the entirety of Dragon Ball for the most part, unless it's like some kind of Tenkaichi tournament or something. But they're just straight up sideline because they can't compete. I mean, that's wild. But yeah, not too much development in terms of the story, very heavily combat. And I guess the next chapter must be heavy combat as well. So probably gonna get a very similar next chapter. Chapter 80 should just be very much like 79. You would think, but maybe Toriyama and Toyotaro are gonna throw us some curveballs. Find out next month. I'm Mastar, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.